Go. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? Good to see you. That's right. Here I am, back at it again after a long, crazy road trip up to Vermont to play in a golf trip. I got my good buddy Mike, aka Caddyshack, tonight. What's going on, baby?
What's up? Hey, I had a realization today. I started listening to the Bad Friends podcast with Bobby Lee and Andrew Santino, and it's so damn funny. But I was thinking about our podcast, and it gave me the thought that we did it all wrong. Really, what we should have done is been famous first, and then start our podcast because I think that helps a lot when you're like trying to get viewers.
Yeah. I think it helps a whole lot. Um,
We really fucked that up.
yeah, I guess I need a time machine. Maybe I can go backwards in time. There'd be a lot to do if you could actually go back in time.
Yeah,
If I had
no
a
doubt.
time machine, I would. There's a lot of stuff I would change, a whole lot.
What do you think the first thing is?
The
That's a
first
tough.
thing
That's a
is
tough one.
it is tough, but I think that I mean there's so many. You can go sentimental ones, you can go financial ones, you can go lifestyle ones. I mean there's so many different things, but I guess that I don't know. I guess I would make it if I have to go financial. I guess it would be to invest more and save in
All the
what
things that are
over time.
huge.
Well, not even that. I'm not saying like have the ability to know what's going to be big. Just to
Like
even go back and talk to myself and say, "Hey, take some of that money that you're going to blow
put it
on
away.
alcohol and partying or whatever,
Strippers.
all the strippers, whatever it takes, just save a little bit. Maybe put it away, maybe invest in some stuff." And you know, but I guess everything obviously leads down a path that takes you to where you are today, and I'm okay where I'm at. So, um, even though there's certain things I would change, certain things I would add, or spice up the dish, maybe some other spices. But I'm all right.
So
I'm tired.
yeah, you're not even
I
talking
mean,
like Back to the Future sports book, like
no, that would be cool too, though. I would like
yeah,
to do that. Like, if
or,
I could, I'd be like, oh, Facebook. I've heard of this.
or go buy like 100 cryptocurrency, whatever the shit is, like 20 years ago for pennies on the dollar.
Absolutely, that would be nice. Go back and get some of those penny ones like Bandit had. You know, he had a few nice ones. Let me make sure this volume isn't blaring over here. It's not good. Um, yeah, it's been. I'm. I have to say, I'm a little tired tonight because I got up at like 3:45 in the morning and drove 4.5 hours to the airport
When
and then
when you
another
woke up, did you
hour
like
home.
you rolled over and you're like, "Beeps, it's time to go."
Well,
Like was your
he was nestled into my armpit.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, he was drooling into my armpit, and
Ooh.
it was kind of nice. It felt right. Um, and
You,
then he passed gas loudly, and it ruined the whole mood.
oh,
But
you weren't like having a dream that you were in the gym like sweating so bad that your armpit was all moist.
no, but what's wild is that I for some reason I woke up this morning when I got up at 3 4, totally drenched in sweat, like I had been working out, or like if I've ever been sick, which I've been fortunate, haven't been sick a lot, but I mean I've had a cold and I'm breaking a fever or something and you sweat
Oh
it
yeah.
out. Um, it was it was pretty wild. I'm like, what the fuck is this from? But I think maybe I just got bit by a tick and I had some a sweat tick or something. Those are real.
Sweaty tick.
A sweaty tick. Um, like our autism people. But yeah, so this last week, Beebs, who is from a buddy of ours in real life, and through the little podcast, I guess extended family we have, we
Ephemery.
went up, huh?
Our family.
Ah, yes, our familia. We have extended familia, but we headed up to Vermont. I We played in a golf tournament, and it went well. We didn't win at all, which I wanted to win it all, but we played pretty decent for two guys that don't play that golf course. And getting Brandon to come up from Florida, and he hasn't played, he's never seen that place. He 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 performed quite well. He played very well, and so I appreciated him coming up there. It was fun. Got to see my dad and my stepmom Karen, and we jumped around in the pool for the first 2 days, and the next 2 days we were bundled up wearing sweaters and stuff. It was pretty wild weather.
Was there any like good stories from the weekend? Funny things?
Um, so
I see that smile.
let me. I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
You live in a household with mainly all boys, but you do have a wife,
Correct.
Mama Caddyshack,
Tis.
and when you potty, when you go, let's say you go take a pee,
Sure.
you go to the potty, and you raise up that toilet seat, and you pee. Okay, let's say you're standing up. First of all, you're not doing the sit down thizzler.
Yeah.
You are standing up and peeing. Do you make sure that you return the seat to the lowered position and close the lid on the toilet, or do you leave it open, or what do you do?
I definitely if I did, I don't stand up to pee when I'm in the house because I just don't. I don't know why, but I don't like making more mess than I have to, especially because she's doing most of the cleaning and I try to be courteous. But
That's very nice of you.
if I was gonna stand up and pee, I would definitely put the regular seat down. I don't like putting the lid down, but I would put the regular seat down. The reason I don't like putting the lid down is because uh there has been multiple times when she has done it and I get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and I assume that I can just sit right down and I end up squashing my balls when I uh, sit with the toilet seat all the way down.
Hmm.
And I didn't like that, so I like to leave the lid part up.
So you leave the top lid up, but you put the seat down.
Correct.
So Beebs is a everything up guy. And he leaves it that way. And I guess, maybe it's not as weird as I think it is, but it struck me as odd. And the reason I thought it was weird is because I guess my whole life I've, and this goes from growing
Put
up,
the
I
seat
think
down, Keb.
I think that it's come from growing up in the South a little bit, and the fact that because we were on a, excuse me, like a septic system, um, that the whole if it's brown, flush it down, but if it's yellow, let it mellow.
Right.
So a lot of the times, especially through the night, people, if they came to pee, and we all had just one bathroom, you would leave the pee in there, but you would shut it because, well, it could have some odor, and you're not wanting to attract anything. And not to mention, if you have some animals, they like to drink out of the toilets.
Yeah. Or I have a 1-year-old
Sometimes.
right now, so we have to make sure like bathroom doors stay shut.
Exactly. So I mean, there's a lot of different reasons, but it struck me as odd because I was like, man, what kind of animal leaves the toilet seat up? And I even mentioned it to him, and he's like, I do. And I'm like, okay. I mean, it's like it didn't bother him, but I was like, wow. So that was fun because I didn't realize that. There's no bathtub, so we didn't get a chance to soak in each other's water.
Yeah.
But um, I never realized. I think his family, the Beebs, his paternal family,
Mm-hmm.
extended family, they have their own language. Instead of like saying, yeah, okay, or um, I get it, or I understand, they just go, mm,
Mm.
mm,
Mm.
mm. There's
Mm.
different mms. Kind of like last week when we were talking about different moans. Like if
Mm.
you want to go grab a Blizzard at Dairy Queen, oh, Beebs would be like,
Mm.
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 Or it'd be like, hey, you want to go help us outside do some chores? Mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm, mm, mm. And I had forgotten. You know how sometimes we've heard the Beebs loudly. You're kind of notorious for it too, but hearing
or potato chips.
yeah, exactly. Um, he's a smacker, but I think a lot has to do with he eats with his mouth open.
Mm,
He sure does. He's a
mm,
smacker. He's a smackaroni.
mm.
Um, mm. And praise God, baby. Mm. So, shout out to the Beebs though for coming up this weekend and playing. It was a lot of fun. We did have a good time. Um, he he's a slurper too, by the way. I mean, we're talking about just the food. He was eating his chicken parm last night while we were watching Nugs play, and
Mhm.
he was eating some of them noodles, and I mean, he was
Where it's like slapping his face like on either side.
oh yeah, it was like somebody helicopter in their wiener right now. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, it was he's a slurper. I mean, if he was a girl, I might be into it.
Oh.
I like the noises. Anyway, um, yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We had a good time. I kind of wish that I mean, I enjoyed going to play in the golf tournament. That's why I was going. But I do wish that I had more time to hang out like with just my dad and Karen. And that has nothing to do, and that's not a knock on having Beebs there or going to play the tournament or anything. But I really enjoy the time I get to spend with them. And I think that as adults, we don't we move away or we have our own lives and we don't I mean, you hope to have some stuff that you can cherish or have with you, as of your parents. And I just really enjoy like hanging out with them and talking. We have a good time. Uh, we had a good talk about salmon,
Ooh.
um, and
Some fresh salmon or like canned salmon
just salmon in general. And
or
you
raw
know,
salmon like in sashimi or
um,
baked
salmon,
salmon with like some butter and lemon.
fresh salmon,
Okay.
whatever,
You know what
um,
bears like?
salmon.
Salmon. Yeah, mostly.
Yep, absolutely. Um, and we talked about how funny it was because I actually was talking to somebody out here from work a couple of years back, and I said salmon on purpose,
You're right.
and they looked like I just shit in their mouth. What did he just say? I said salmon, motherfucker. It's pronounced salmon, and he goes, nope, nope, nope. He's waving his hands and shit. Nope, you're an idiot. I know this, but it's salmon.
There's a big old L right in the middle of that word.
There is. Um, but yeah, it was a good time. It was a good trip. Uh, not any crazy bad traffic. Traffic was normal for Newark, which is kind of shitty, but it was a
Yeah.
good trip. And
Weather was good.
weather was hot the first 2 days, and then it was kind of cold, and they were forecasting rain, but it never rained.
Hmm.
So it did last night, right before for a couple hours. But we were already done with golfing. We were at the house. Pickup was packed up and ready to go. So it wasn't bad. But I don't know if our YouTube is frozen, but it's spinning on mine. So
It's working for me.
okay, good. Because I don't want people looking at this picture that I'm looking at right now because we're frozen and our facial expressions are pretty bad. It looks like you're busting a nut and I'm taking it. Mm.
Urka, urka.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. But so yeah, Beeb's uncle and cousin came down and played with us on one of the days on our practice round. So that was cool. He got to see some family as well.
Where are they from?
I don't know the town, and I don't know all the towns up there anyway, so I wouldn't even if you'd told me. But
The state is fine.
yeah, Vermont.
Oh, okay.
Vermont. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so I did write down a few things, not a lot this last week because I
Okay.
was kind of focused on going up there. Um, but what are your thoughts on reincarnation?
So
And I don't mean
I
like maybe from a biblical thing. Do you think that let's I don't know how it happens, but let's say it happens. What are your thoughts?
yeah, that's a tough one. Like, I think Amber likes to believe in that like kind of deal. I definitely am a believer in karma though. I think that, you know, the the better person you try to be, the more good stuff that's going to come around to you. But I don't necessarily believe that when you die, you'll come back as something else, or before this life, you were something else, that you did something good or bad to determine who you were going to be. I don't know. That's pretty far fetched to me. Which, I know that the universe is pretty far fetched, and just the fact that we all exist. But uh, that's just too. It's too much for me.
Yeah, and I guess it depends on where you're looking at it from. If you're a you know uber religious person, you might not believe in that. But I
Right.
like to think that no matter what, maybe we are just all recycled lives, and that might be cool. I actually I went to see a psychic, um, or a medium or whatever they are, the people that speak to spirits or past
Right.
lives or dead people or whatever, and
The other realm.
the other realm. And so I went and talked to him, or I talked to her, and I had a reading on like if there was any people that were trying to come through from the other side, and it was very interesting. People did, um, at least according to her. Um, and then I also had one. I had a past lives reading, which I thought was really cool.
Hmm.
Um, but I saw a thing on, I don't know if it was TikTok or Instagram Reels or something, but this guy that says, he does this weird, try to be creepy voice, but you know, another reincarnation story about how people that have come back and swore that they're somebody else from another time or another era and have memories, vivid memories and facts and stuff about past lives and other people's lives and saying they're this person.
Right.
Um, and I've seen some, probably cool computer generated images of people that's like, what the fuck? That person, or even famous people showing them their lookalikes or doppelgangers from 1920. But I think it'd be cool. I'd like to think I think if I come my next life, I would like to be an Asian lady.
In
Yeah,
what context?
I don't know. Maybe just a
Like living
Korean,
in
like
Asia or like living in America?
maybe living in America. A nice Korean lady, about 5'2", plays a lot of golf because I have a rich doctor husband.
Oh, okay. You wouldn't be like a nail tech or
No, I don't do your nail, no honey. Um, I no, I just play golf all the time. I'm like,
a masseuse in a skeezy massage parlor.
oh, a rub and tugger.
Well, I mean, you
Nothing
don't you
wrong
don't
with
really
a
talk about it, but
nothing wrong with a happy ending, baby. Um, Speaking of happy
you
endings,
might
no, I'm just kidding.
volunteer there on just volunteer on the weekends.
Yeah, that's what I do for in my downtime. That's how I keep my swing strong.
Keep your spirits
Um,
up.
uh, I want to send a. Um, no, I don't. Let's just keep on going. More
So
gagging, less nagging.
so quick question on the psychic. Did you have anything profound that, she said people were reaching out or anything like that, that like you're like, no way she could have known that, or was it pretty just generic?
There was some stuff that was pretty like um, I found to be pretty extraordinary. Like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. Um, like she said my two grandfathers that had both passed are always looking after me. They're always hanging around, which I
Yeah.
thought was cool. One of them was really big into golf,
Okay.
but she said one of them is standing there, and I didn't tell her anything about that. I didn't even bring him up. And she said he's sitting there rattling change in his pocket. He's sitting there just rattling change in his pocket. That's what he's moving the change around or something in his pocket, making noise.
Yeah.
And he used to do that all the time. Like some people have a nervous twitch or just something to
Right.
do, and that was his thing. He had change in his pocket and keys, and he'd sit there and just kind of move them around. And
Probably
so I was like, that's pretty cool.
some wheat pennies and buffalo nickels.
Oh, wheat pennies. I got your wheat penny. Yeah, so it was cool. It was worth
Yeah.
doing. I think it's good. I think, like St. Joe says, it's good. It's good. I like it. Speaking of which, St. Joe's podcast this week, I listened to it. He had Zamama D on, and
Yes.
they talked about some wild stuff. They talked about pegging the bottom,
Hmm.
not in the way that we're thinking of.
Not in the way that Two Penny talks about it.
No, but what's funny is that I wrote this down as something to talk about. I don't remember why. I don't remember what they were talking about for that. Anyway, there's also there's some wild names up there and for streets and roads in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is Long Swallow Swamp Road,
Oh shit! I
right
think I've
next
been
to
there.
Short Swallow Swamp Road. I think I'm a big fan of both of them. But yeah, Long Swaller Swamp.
Swaller Swamp.
Yeah, just a long swaller. You can do it, honey. Just take a long swaller.
Do you think the swamp existed before the Long Swallow or after?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
Hmm.
mm, I don't know. I think the long swamp used to be the short swallow. No, the long swallow used to be the short swallow,
Okay.
and then it became long. You know how that is. It goes from shorter to longer.
The more swamp swallows it gets.
The more swallows it gets, the bigger it gets. I mean, that's just the way it is. You're filling up that swaller.
That's science, brother.
That's the dark arts. That's that science, baby.
I know you're exhausted, so I'm gonna try to see if I can break you tonight.
You can break me. I wish you would.
Hmm.
I will say this. I've had a really good week. I'm enjoying being able to me and Sweet Buns have been chatting as friends. We're not like there's nothing like crazy going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great because she's one of like the funniest people I fucking know. And she actually puts up with my stupid fucking humor, and that's hard to do, as you know. But so she puts up with it. But I've had a good time talking to her. So I put on a Sweet Buns hoodie. She got this for me. Like right when I first met her, she got me this hoodie.
What's that? The Martha Vineyards logo?
Yeah, I don't really know much about it.
I don't either.
But she bought me a few of these during our.
I know they're expensive, and I'm not sure why.
I don't either, but they're nice. They're very comfortable.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I think she's even listening to the show tonight. So shout out to the Sweet Buns.
Ooh.
And do you know what's funny is a lot of people probably think I'm talking about her booty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. What's funny is that when we first met, obviously I have a little bit of a southern drawl sometimes. If I'm lazy, tired, or drunk, it comes out. But anyway, we were chatting, and I said buns, and I think that I wasn't talking about her butt, but
she thought you were slow.
She knew I was slow, but she
she's like, why did he say it like that?
Yeah. So anyway, it that became her nickname, and it was great because on the podcast we use funny fake names.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that has nothing to do with bottom pegging or long swamp swallowing.
But it doesn't not have to either.
I mean, I guess it could. I mean, if if I was cruising around Vermont with Sweet Buns, we
Uh,
might take a ride down Long Swaller Swamp Road.
it's easy to end up there. Like
I know. I drove on it with Beebs.
it's kind of off
Eh,
the beaten path, but somehow
Beebs, he was slurping and smacking along.
he was
But
eating some of those maple candies I told you not to get a hold of.
yeah, it was, um, and I know for a fact that Sweet Buns is listening now because she just reminded me it was. I said chicken and buns because we were talking about food, and I said chicken and buns. And
Like as like a sandwich. What are you talking about?
well, do you remember chicken and bread days in Bowie?
Yeah, I don't think I ever went, but I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Okay.
I'm thinking here. I don't really know. I remember all the like awesome shit. I don't remember like any of the bad stuff. Like I
Yeah.
don't remember that I was a total, asshole and you know, fucked up that relationship. But that's all right. She's nice enough to be my friend. So
Well, good.
she,
I'm glad
she,
that she
she
could
puts
forgive
up with
you,
me. Yeah, because it's hard to do. I'm an asshole. I
especially
know
after all the things you did and didn't do.
all the things. I know I should. It's like that Bruno Mars song. Shoulda, whatever it is. When I was your man, or whatever. I don't know. I was about to start singing, and I realized I don't mess up and start singing Bruno Mars. Look at his hair, though.
Yeah, it's
It's out of control. This hair is wilder than a nun fucking on Sunday. This is crazy.
I think I'm gonna try to mine the silver out of it.
I think that you need to try to grow yours out like mine. Grow it out.
I don't think that's what I need to do.
Yeah, you should. Just let it grow.
Get all floppy and
Yeah, just let it
wispy.
blow around in the wind. Blow around. Um, so are you ready for this
What
is what I was
time is
about to
it?
ask you. No, it's not
Okay.
time yet.
Okay. Sorry. Damn.
It's not time, damn it. Um, at what age? So remember how when I was still rolling solo and I said that Sweet Buns and May were my producers, but it was Sweet Buns was the producer first.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, she has sent me some texts in regards to the chicken and bun story because she is way smarter than I am. And so let's go ahead and read what she said.
Less sleepy.
It's way less sleepy. Well, she might be. I don't know. She's a mom and she's been busy today. She had some stuff to do. Anyway. I remember this now. I was making chicken and buns. I was eating chicken and buns.
Like, what do you mean buns? Like dinner
Like
rolls?
buns, like dinner rolls, like hot hamburger buns, like putting a chicken patty in a bun and eating it like a chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I was putting chicken on a bun on buns.
Okay.
And she said, "Are you a cowboy?" And I said, "Hold on. I had to park my horse in the garage." So anyway, she's hilarious. And she puts up with a lot of my shit. Well, all my shit, I guess, which is a lot to deal with.
I figured it was.
I am more than a mouthful when it comes to putting up with me.
I figured it was because you were wearing a cowboy hat and nothing else.
Hell yeah. I'm your Huckleberry.
Howdy.
Howdy, man.
Mm.
Why don't you let me saddle up next to your chicken and buns and I'll eat the gravy out of your poon box?
And then I'll put my dick in it.
That sounds weird. I didn't mean it like that. Damn. Oops. Sorry. I'm sleepy, motherfuckers.
Delirium is real.
It is real. Like I'm like, what the fuck? I'm so tired. Here we go. At what age do your parents? This is a question for me. This isn't a tips.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, what age do you officially become a bird watcher? Because my parents are like pretty much ornithologists. They like know every fucking bird that's flying, what they're talking about, what they're eating, where they're living. I mean, they never looked at birds when we were growing up. Now all of a sudden you go there, they have chairs in front of the windows. What are y'all doing watching birds?
Well, I grew up a little differently. My dad is like a total avid hunter and outdoorsman, and so
Yeah.
he's always telling me types of trees, types of birds, animals that you see out there that you can't even barely see with your naked eye. So he's always like, yeah, I don't know. My parents are kind of dorky, I guess, but they have all the identification books in their library at the house. Where if they don't know, they'll go find out, but they pretty much know it all because, he's always trying to spot. he- They have these 2 Russian olive trees in the backyard right off the patio that, he'll spread all the bird seed out so that the pheasants come and eat under it, and they'll just sit on the patio and watch all that shit go down.
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was wild that there's binoculars on the table, and they're like, "Oh, there's a red-tailed horny dove," something. And
Your
they kill it.
binoculars are for something else, though.
Like what,
Looking into your neighbor's house.
dude? Do you not know who my neighbors are?
Yeah, that'd be a pretty dangerous situation, I think.
I've got homoerotica on the left and transgender on the right, and across the street I've got nothing. So the neighbor watching is not good here.
You'd get more than you bargained for, I'm sure.
Absolutely, I could. You never know. As I yawn, but I want people to hear this. I'm so tired.
You're making me hot too.
There you go. We're moaning and yawning and it's so nice. I do have one question that I pulled out for you tonight for the two tips.
Okay.
And you know what? Beebs had a good idea, and I really think I'm going to steal it. It's going to be called from now on this segment, Just the Tip.
Sponsored
by Finding Your Way. The Finding Your Way podcast.
So send us your raunchiest questions that you can come up with.
Yes. So send nastiest questions ever.
Because it's sponsored by the Beebs and Finding Your Way.
So here we go with the question. This is Just the Tip, sponsored by Finding Your Way. A very inspirational, somewhat religious podcast by our friend the Beebs.
It's pretty religious.
Would you rather have your parents watch every sexual escapade you have ever had, or watch a video of them conceiving you?
So just to make sure, this is sponsored by Finding Your Way?
Yes, Finding Your Way.
Okay.
The question did not come from Finding Your Way, but this segment, Just the Tip.
So if they were watching you, does that mean they're like it's time machine, like they're sitting in the room literally watching you, or like they're watching a tape of every time you?
I don't think it matters. If they're sitting in the room, I'm going to have performance anxiety. There's no way my dick's getting hard with mom and dad watching.
Right. Is it like present in the moment though, or is it like after the fact?
Know.
Like they're that matters.
That does not matter. After the fact, they're sitting down watching a fucking DVD.
Actually, I just had some memories go through my head, and I think I'd just bite the bullet and I guess watch them conceive you.
Yeah. I think that I would want to do that too, because I'm hoping that maybe it was like just a quick pump dump, like a not
even good.
No, they're under the covers. There was no pre-blow. There was no after blow, obviously, because he blew all up in there and made me. But I'm hoping it was just like an under the cover missionary type thing, and boom, there I was. So I think I would want to watch that too.
And they'd be like, "Was that good for your first time?"
Was that good? Like, yeah, because my parents were virgins, of course.
They just didn't know any better.
Yeah, they didn't know what happened. He didn't know what happened when he thrusted on top of her when he laid on top and was thrusting his hips into my mother. Um, that's disturbing. Um,
It did happen though.
it did. Oh, it definitely happened. I don't even want to know what position it was.
Well, hey, I appreciate the Beebs sponsoring that segment. It's very nice.
Yeah, that was very nice of him. Thank you, Beeves, for sponsoring Just the Tip with the Two Pity Podcast. Um, if somebody is listening tonight or watching, there's 4 or 5 people in here. I wish we could get more viewers, but we're not famous.
Yeah.
So we're working it backwards, but we're still working it. If somebody else has a question for the night, feel free to ask because I'm too tired to go digging. Oh, excuse me. But
Oh fuck.
yeah, see, we're all yawners. We're just trying to get more oxygen to our brain, but my eyes are even red. That's how fucking tired I am. Oh, I'm Bobby Mata. Um,
I'm Bobby Mom.
I'm Bobby Mom. Yeah, that's funny too. And the reel you sent me of Theo and all the movie clips was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, real hilarious. And I wonder what, speaking of just the tip, did you ever say that when you were like, so I've heard people talk about different lines, and here's a couple. I just want just the tip, just the tip. Just let me feel
Like
what it's like. Just let me
like
put
some
it in. Let me put it inside and just feel. I don't want to move around or thrust or even have sex, but I
like
just want to.
she's pumping the brakes on you real hard.
Yeah, I want to know what it feels like.
You probably had a couple drinks and you're freaking revved up like a freaking diesel truck.
Oh man, my motor's running.
Up,
I
up, up,
am.
up, 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 up.
I'm sitting there just ready to fucking explode. Um, we've been dry humping on the couch for 2 hours.
These
I've
fucking
got,
jeans are about to start a fire.
I've got, yeah, I've got fucking zipper rub all up and down my wiener.
That nice rash.
That's right. My wiener's bleeding from all that fucking rubbing on the zipper. It's been looking out the top of my pants, you know, for a while. But I think just the tip's a bunch of shit. Because if I get, let me tell you this: if I get my tip in, the rest of that dick is coming.
Oh,
We're
yeah. Well,
going
it's like,
all in, baby.
I mean, I think the Mormons took that idea and they just ran with it because that
The
soaking is
soaking.
it's pretty much just a tip, but for like an extended period of time.
I want to. If I would have had to do it, I'd want to get some rockers in there, whatever they call them, the people that come in there and shake the bed for you. Did we ever
Oh
talk about
yeah,
that?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we have a commente from the Keb,
Oh,
Mister the
I
Keb.
I think we're going back to just the tip, sponsored by Finding Your Way with the Beebs.
Oh, we are. Let me roll that theme music. Bum bum bum. Okay, there it was. So, Mister the Keb says, drink a full glass of expired chunky milk, or eat an entire bowl of moldy strawberries. Okay, so I'm not thinking about the texture or drinking it or eating it or getting it down. I'm thinking about the after effect. What's going to suck worst? Is that full glass of chunky expired milk or the bowl of moldy strawberries going to hurt me worse?
I think the milk would probably make your stomach worse, but I also think it would be easier to get through.
Yeah, I could pound that pretty quick. I
Yeah,
could swallow it.
minimal chewing.
Yeah, just open the throat up and let it go down.
Yeah,
I think if I had to choose one or the other, I'm gonna drink that glass of expired chunky milk.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've probably done it by accident before.
yeah. I've definitely drank it when it should have been questionable, I'd say, but chunky. I mean, that's pretty dang old too. Like, yeah, that would be
Super.
tough.
Um, I have a wonderful comment on. Have you ever been? Okay, I got a question. Have you ever like let's say it's hard when I talk to you guys that are married, and because I don't want to talk about your wifeys. And then if you talk about some other conquest or experience,
All those other hoes
all those other hoes, then,
that I didn't marry.
yeah, then why are you talking about her? Don't do that because inevitably, it happens. But have you ever done the whole we are not going to have sex? And then we end up having sex.
Like, you mean as a relationship rule as a whole? Or like,
No,
I
no, no.
guess,
Like when you're like getting together with somebody first time, you're like, okay, well, I'll come over and hang out, but we're not having sex. Or we can make out a little bit. We're not having sex. Have you ever done that?
no, I don't think I've ever had that straightforward of a conversation before hanging out with somebody, even back in the day.
Hmm.
I think it was like,
Mm.
hey, come hang out, and I'm gonna try to have sex with you.
Oh, all right.
And we'll see what happens.
Another just the tip came in. Are you ready, Mike?
Oh my god. Just the tip live
Just the
brought
tip live,
brought to
brought to
you
you
by
by Finding Your Way
with the Beebs.
with the Beebs from Unfiltered Studios.
UNFpod.com if you
UNFpod.com. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your hoe. Would you rather have feet as hands or hands as feet?
This is getting a little silly.
I like silly.
Definitely hands as feet. That seems much
But see,
more.
my question is this: does that automatically flip flop them? Because if it does, you're getting both.
Well, the question is the same thing then.
Exactly. I mean, if you or do you have like four pairs, like four hands, or do you have 4 feet?
I think you'd be like a
I think
monkey,
I'm going
basically.
with I want hands everywhere. I mean,
not feet. That'd be useless.
exactly. No, I want the hands.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, what you could do with that? Could you
You could
imagine the kind of orgies you could get into?
You could jerk
I'm
off
over
4 guys
here.
at the same time.
I could. Not to mention a toe job would be a totally different feeling. What are you doing with your hand over there? Don't you worry about it. That could be cool. But I think I'd go with hands. Hands
Well,
all
for
around.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, give me them hands.
Opposable thumbs are what sets us apart.
Yeah, of course. How about we do a little musical ministry with the
Let's get right into that.
Let's get into that before we start talking about 4 balls or 2 dicks.
Easy, 2 dicks.
Give me 2 of them bad boys. I want to know. What would it be like if your dick was on your forehead?
Would you rather have a penis for a nose or a nose for a penis?
A nose for a penis.
Yeah.
I think so.
So
I don't know if I want that thing flopping on your face. It'd be kind of weird.
But you like the image though.
I did like the image. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and get into this musical ministry. Tell me all about it. Fire away.
So I found this similarly to last week's song, which hopefully people like. I don't really hear a lot of feedback on it, but I'm gonna keep doing it regardless. So fuck you guys. But this is a song called "Freaks and Geeks" by the Childish Gambino. Who, when I looked it up, his name is really Donald Glover Jr., and I guess he's an actor in a ton of stuff. So
he is.
I'm sure everybody would recognize him if they looked it up. I like the song so much that I was like, hey, I'm gonna look up other songs by him, which
there's a lot.
They're not like the song, and it really wasn't my cup of tea. So if you like this song, you might like his other music, you might not, but hopefully you like this one. And I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool and unique, so I picked it out this week.
I can't wait. Let's get into it. Freaks and Geeks by Childish Gambino.
All alright. Gambino is a mastermind. Fuck a bitch to pass the time. Mass appeal, orange rind, smoke your green. I'm spending mine. The beat is witch's brew, but beware this shit is potent. EE coming on her face. Now there's poetry in motion. Yeah, Gambino make it work. I'm the boss, move something. Yeah, this cool fucking suits me. Swag 2 button. Yeah, these girls be acting crazy when they're dancing Black Swan. I ain't fucking at the club. Put your clothes back on. Yeah, this beat is a disaster. 9/11. This track. Rappers wanna battle me. I have to mail their heads back. In my clique, make that De Niro. So it's time to meet the fuckers. I am running this bitch. You are just a dog walker. Leaving with your girl when we last seen each other. Yeah, you fucking with the baddest like we tag team. Rihanna, fly girl on her knees. She don't wanna come near me. Yeah, my dick is too big. There's a Big Bang Theory. Got a picture in my iPhone. What do y'all think? Why y'all niggas masturbate? I'm in that Ariel Pink. If I am just a rapper, man, you could've fooled me. I'm the shit. When these dudes talk, they talking bull me. Yeah. Okay, I'm down with the black girls of every single culture. Filipino, Armenian girls on my sofa. Yeah, I like a white girl. Sometimes we get together, need a thick chick though. So it's black and yellow, black and yellow. Love is a trip, but fucking is a sport. Are there Asian girls here? Minority Report. Put your team on the map. Blake Griffin on the court. Niggas biting off my tracks. Need a knife and a fork. We the illest, need a nurse. Here's the check. Grab your purse unless we fucking. Then I'll pay for all the food on the earth, man. I got some pussy that was insane. So insane, it's an enemy of Batman. I'm on it. Niggas call me faggot cause they closet and I'm hot as shit. Coming out the backside of a rocket shit. It's monster shit. You dudes are the opposite of.
So you like that?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. I like all kinds of music. I like hip hop and rap. I will say that reminds me a lot of Lil Wayne and Drake, early Drake type stuff.
Yeah, I could hear that.
And I don't know, I'm just so not a fan of rappers and people in general. Rappers mainly. You don't hear a lot of it in country or rock and roll using the N word, just throwing it around. It's like it's just so uncreative, and a lot of the stuff they rap about these days are uncreative, and that goes from everybody from Eminem to him or whoever. But I think it's cool because he is Daniel Glover is Childish Gambino and Flippy Flop, but Flippity Flop brought to you by Finding Your Way. And Keb wrote something on there. Where is it?
I think he deleted it.
Oh.
I think he was saying it, find your way, not finding your way.
Yeah, but I thought it was Finding Your Way.
That's what I thought. I'm going to stick with it.
Don't make me look this up. I'm going to look it up.
Fact check.
Fact check. Sing a song real quick.
Well, real quick comment. I do have to say, so if you listen to Beeb's last episode about, wishing his daughter happy birthday, basically, yes. he gets to the end, and I feel like we're rubbing off on him pretty negatively.
I agree.
You have a picture with him like
bad influence
flipping the camera off, which is pretty shocking because that doesn't.
Andy said "fuck" in the last episode.
He did, and so he got to a point in that episode where he said, this is an episode about wishing my daughter a happy birthday, and if you guys don't like it, it really looked like it was going to lead into you can go fuck yourself.
I know, right? So I will say this. He is. How should I say this? I'm a big clowning jokester. I joke about everybody. I make fun about everybody. I make fun of everybody, but I usually do it right to their face. I make fun of you right to your face. When we joke around and I'm being a jerk, I talk about, your tight t-shirts or whatever. I do it, but I don't do it. Whatever I will do behind your back, I will do it right to your face.
Yeah, I'm definitely not worried about you saying shit behind my back because you say it all to me.
Exactly. So it's not like I'm going around saying, "Oh, I heard Mike was banging little kids like St. Joe used to."
It's recorded for anybody who wants to hear it. So,
what's the word? Posterity.
Posterity.
Yeah.
Sure.
I guess I don't know. I'm not Beebs. I don't have $10 words.
Yeah.
Beebs is getting a lot of pub this episode. He
Yeah.
deserves it though. Um,
He hung out with you for like 4 days, so
I hung out with him too. God damn it! Praise God.
So did you fact check it?
Yes, it's Finding Your Way with the Beeb.
That explains why he deleted the comment.
Yeah. I don't know why, but Bob Menry just mentioned me in a podcast. Thanks, Bob.
Who's that?
The voice, he was the former voice of Buffalo Wild Wings. He's got a giant podcast.
Oh.
Do you know the guy that did the Buffalo Wild Wings voice for a while?
Mm-mm.
I'll send you some Bob Menry stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, but back to your song. I'm not a big fan of it.
Fair enough.
And I like Childish Gambino. I've heard some stuff of his that I do like. So I was like, I was expecting.
It sounds a
actually
lot
something
different
good.
than like the other stuff I listen to.
Yes, it does. It does. It does for sure. Yeah. So it was a little off. I didn't enjoy it. As
We're not-
Beebs would say, he would go,
We're not going to agree on everything.
That's true. That's why we have a good relationship.
You're the yin to my buttercups.
That's why I love you so much. You are my favorite little morsel of whiteness down there in Tejas.
Oh, Papa.
Oh, Mikey Mama. Mikey Mom.
I'm Mikey Mom.
I'm Mikey Mom.
I'm Mikey's mother.
I'm Mikey Mama. Jesus, that hurt crossing my eyes. I almost died right there.
Well, you did it one at a time. Was like usually you just like
Well,
you're
I'm,
like
I'm fancy. What? It takes talent, motherfucker. I'm like winning an Emmy award or something for that.
That's like the opposite of a lazy eye.
That's right. That's an overacting. Oh wow, I'm so tired. So anybody that's listening this week, I apologize if it's a little off, but I am a little bit punch drunk, little punchy, little stupid is the main word. Very stupid. But yeah, I will hunt for more questions and stuff for just the tip. Brought to you by the Beebs over at Finding Your Way from
Finding
Studios
Your
at
Way.
ufpod.com, where you can fulfill all your dreams of being a podcast legend.
Even if the guy who creates the UNF studios doesn't know the name of your podcast, that's okay.
It is okay, Mr. The Keb. That's okay. Nobody remembers his other podcast, the Stupid History
yeah.
Minute.
Retarded history. Oh, stupid history minute.
Watch yourself. Oh, but I was going to say earlier about the Beebs is he's the friend you want on your side. He has everybody's back.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting there talking about how St. Joe was banging little kids or something, and he's like, "Stop it."
He's
He
like,
does
I've never seen him do that.
He's like, I've never seen him do it. And the one time I smelled his dick, it did not smell like a little kid. And I was like, damn, dude. All right, bro. Chill. But no, I'm just kidding. So for anybody and everybody that wants to be friends with the Beebs, do it. He smacks, he slurps, he drools,
He'll
farts
share,
a lot.
He'll share SpaghettiOs with you.
He will share SpaghettiOs with you. A nice can of SpaghettiOs. He'll talk to Jesus with you. Yeah, I asked him a question about Jesus when we were playing golf, but I think I pissed him off. He didn't answer it because he knew that I'm up to something. If I'm asking about Jesus, I'm up to something. I'm trying to just work him into a little fever pitch, and that's not nice to do.
He's like 4,
5. So anyway, I'll find some more questions, but if you yourself have some stuff, you can hit us up on Twitter at the 2 Penny. Please go over to our YouTube and subscribe. It's really not that big of a deal. It's the 2 Penny Podcast. It's not hard to find. It's the fucking name of our podcast.
Even if you don't mean it, it doesn't hurt our feelings.
It's free. free of charge. Maybe I need to start saying this at the first of the podcast before people turn off and don't listen to us anymore.
Or they give up.
Because I'm sure people, oh, here's our download and press play and turn it off. Thanks. But you can do that with the YouTube. Just press the subscribe button and you don't ever have to watch us.
Yeah.
I would love it if you did, but it doesn't matter. I'm just so sad. I'll miss you. We listened to that song Miss You twice by Blink 182 on the drive.
Oh,
Pretty good song. I like this song a lot, actually.
that's actually a really good album. Maybe I'll pick
Yeah.
something from there next week.
Foo Fighters got a new drummer. Did you see the press release on that in the little video?
No, I did not.
Josh Freese, formerly of Nine Inch Nails and many other bands, but very accomplished drummer.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool. I wanted to give everybody a chance to write this down. The Two Penny
Write
Hotline.
this down. Back to, what was that, T Swift again?
I have no idea. You
I
like
think
T Swizzle? I'm a fan.
Just assumed we'd had to talk about her every week, so.
Not this week, not until you brought her up. Speaking of which, hey Tay Tay, I'm still here. And,
single and ready to
ready to jingle in your pockets.
like change, like 2 pennies.
Swizzle can be on my list. Ooh, that's what we got to do. That
Okay.
the what is it? The hall pass list.
Yeah.
Bring your notebook. We're doing the hall pass list next week.
I'm gonna have to do some research because if I'm gonna go for it, I might as well make it worth it.
I don't know. You know what's funny is the hall pass thing was something because mainly it was just somebody that was beautiful or rich or something out there.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna talk about that.
What do you think about like Mother Teresa?
Well, two things. She was fucking hideous looking. There's no way those cabinets don't have cobwebs that can't be cleaned out.
You're not the man for the job.
Hell no. There ain't nobody getting there. That's no.
Fair
That's
enough.
tighter. That's tighter than a wood barrel swelled up with whiskey.
So yeah. Hey.
Oof. But if anybody wants to call us or text us or do anything like that, 732-898-2068, 732-898-2068. Don't forget to masturbate because it is great. And if you do masturbate, you won't make her late and you won't get none of that
Pregnate.
child pay, Nate. I made up a word because I can, because I'm a genius. Thank you and good night, St. Louis.
Wrap it up.
Wind it up. I'm just kidding. It's over. Anything else you would like to say to these fine folks before we get it up and get it out of here?
Let's close it up. Close up shop.
For anybody who's listening and you thought that this week's episode sucked, I apologize. I'm just tired. We love you.
We'll try harder next time.
We will try harder next time. Hey, by the way, because this comes out on Friday, you won't have a chance, but look out for us, not this Wednesday, but the following week. We are going to be guesting on an episode of Refiltered. We will be on their Father's Day episode. And we agreed to do it. And we have something very special lined up for all of you. So make sure you tune in. But each and every Friday, we have a brand new episode of the Two Penny Podcast. You can find us anywhere and everywhere that you download any of your pods or your music. Just look for us, the Two Penny Podcast. Rate us, like us, share us. Send us to your grandmas. Send us to your girlfriend because trust me, she likes what I do. And it's a good thing. We appreciate you. And like I always say, hey, if nobody else wants to fuck you, go fuck yourself because that's what I do. And I'm tired of it. My hands hurt from doing that to myself so much. It's not fun.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I don't mind. I'm okay. Oh, before I forget, let me do the quick rundown. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. I forgot to tell everyone about the rundown for the Unfiltered Studios.
One more time.
One more time. Let's go ahead and do this. On Monday, you have, what is it called? Oh, that's right. It's called Nailed It. It's all about Jesus on the cross. Nailed It with Saint Joe. And this week that's right. This week he had Mama D on. Mama Triple D's. And her big old titties were all on there. And they were having fun. And then Mama D, she releases her fury on Tuesday with Pedals of Support. And the Beebs, the Bieber guy, and Mr. The Keb have a Wednesday showdown called Refiltered, where they tell jokes, and sometimes they're funny. Not all the time though. But and then Thursdays are Hypno Wellness Days, along with Finding Your Way, our biggest sponsor of the night. And then fuck that voice. Friday, 2 Penny Podcast. Fuck everybody else. I don't give a fuck what you like. When you're listening to podcasts, make sure you listen to this one, because you know what? We're the best. We the best. I said it. Whether it's true or not doesn't matter.
And every day, Stupid History Minute. It's just a minute.
Get there.
I don't know. You kind of sounded like you're petering out.
I might have been petering out, but I know for a fact I mentioned that. I mentioned everybody's fucking podcast 10 more fucking times
Then
than anybody fucking mentions this podcast. Not that they don't mention us, because they do, and I appreciate it. But let me tell you this. I constantly talk about these other fucking podcasts.
even on accident, we just keep doing it.
Yeah, we're just fucking regurgitating everything. Ask St. Joe. Maybe he'll fucking make fun of me again. I like to just regurgitate and reiterate. Speaking of which, hallelujah. Praise God, baby. Amen. We'll see you next time. I do love you. So, for Mr. Caddyshack, Mr. Thiz, my man Mike, for May, and for Sweet Buns, I'm Jay Jones, and I appreciate you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Arrivederci.